Lots and lots of stories. I want to tell you, there's not a lot of stories that I like to do. So that's the reason why you don't see me all the time. But with that said, I want to show you how I do what I do when I do it. This story right here, I could vet it a couple of times. I'm also going to show you what I look for when I go through to bring a story to you. I want to make sure, first of all, that it's a viable news story, even though not all of them are what you might say things you want to talk about. This one is, for me anyway, handsome woman. Handsome woman, right? This is dealing with Harris's Secret Service director was concerned over Monday motorcade accident. Now, what prompted me to look into this story and to pull it was the fact that one news article stated that they were doing a big cover up on it. Eh, no worries, right? So let's just see exactly what happened. Now, I know this is coming from their perspective. Why? Because, well, it's coming from the Hill. So let's just read it. Vice President Harris and the director of the Secret Service have reportedly expressed concerns over an accident on Monday involving the vehicle that Harris was traveling in after the agency initially did not disclose the details about the quote unquote minor collision, according to the Washington Post. The motorcade was delayed in transporting Harris to the White House after a Secret Service agent driven vehicle hit a tunnel curb in Washington, D.C. But the incident, which occurred on Foggy Bottom, was reportedly logged in an electronic alert to agency supervisors as a mechanical failure. That's what it says. Now, let's cover your hostess, whatever era you're from. These are, in my opinion, allegedly. And because I say that simply because of the fact that too many stories out there in the naked cities, like 1,001 of them. The story here goes on to say that Harris was examined by medical staff and determined to be unharmed, but damage to the vehicle's tire was significant enough that the vice president had to be transferred to another vehicle in order to complete her transit to the White House, according to a report. Secret Service spokesman Anthony, how do you say this guy's name? Good googly moogly. Well, that's it for now. Googly me. Googly my. Mr. G told The Hill that the accident resulted from a minor overcorrection when the driver hit a curb, and that although initial radio traffic suggested a mechanical failure, agents later reported the additional pertinent facts to agency higher ups after Harris had been delivered to her destination. Kind of like toting a package. Kind of like it. She'd been delivered. The incident, though, has stoked some concerns about the Secret Service's move to withhold information in the electronic alert. According to the report, Secret Service Director Kim Cheadle was troubled by the lack of detail in the initial alert sent to the document and the vice president's to document the vice president's delay. So they're a little concerned. Why did it take so long? We should have known about this sooner. What exactly happened? Why are we getting this information now? Well, we want to know a little deeper. What really happened to good old Camel Toe? Why did it come up as a mechanical failure as opposed to somebody hit something? Hmm. A spokeswoman told the Post that Harris appreciated the work of the Secret Service. Now, here is the clutch. The Hill, of course, has reached out to Harris's office for comment. But you see that little block down there? Can you see it? Little bitty block? That tells us that's the end of the story, and well, we don't have any idea what really happened. Hmm. Things that make you go, hmm. But really, do any of us care? Handsome woman. Handsome woman. Love those pantsuits, right? So we've got a little bit more stuff. Just these are just random stories, folks. There's nothing like cohesive together. All the threaded stuff that I wanted to talk about, we sort of talked about that the other day on the Lockhart perspective, but it's okay. I'm going to give you another story, and that is dealing with the waterway, all of the wastewater, the waterways that are contaminated there in Florida. It reminds me a lot of what happened in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm going to pull the story up and let you all see it. Maybe you'll see some similarity while we read it together. How about that? Okay. What do you guys think about the last story? Let me just come over here and see that because I don't see y'all. Hey, good evening, David Bruce. How are you? Betty? Winged Infinity. Hey, Semper Fidelis. Hi. Mars Fugels, good to see you. JR, it's so good to see you. Betty, Anna. Is that Ilka Ilka? Hi, Ilka. Okay. So now let's go on ahead and look at this. This does concern me. The whole incident with Ian concerned me. It really did. And it concerned me specifically because of the timing. Most unfortunate situation as it was. But let's get into this. I'll give you the whole screen. Now, the Florida waterways are contaminated post Ian, posing health risks. Sewage pipelines overflowed into waterways, toppled porta potties, spilled into floodwaters. Gasoline and motor oil leaked out of partially submerged cars and trucks, and downed trees have started decomposing on waterlogged roads. Dave Tomasco, the director of the Sarasota Bay Estuary Program, described several scenes such as these as he visited the city of Northport and other locations around Sarasota County. His job was to collect data to determine if the waterway is safe for the general public to enter. For now, he concluded, people should stay away. He says, quote, "What's in the water is pretty gross. Our bays look like root beer right now," Tomasco said. "It smells terrible," closed quote. Hurricane Ian, which initially made landfall in Florida as a Category 4 storm, left scars not only on the land but also in the water. The storm's winds and excessive rain washed leaves, organic matter, and contaminants into streams and the bays, signaling the beginning of serious environmental impacts that may emerge. Researchers say the degraded water quality could damage the aquatic ecosystems for weeks, which equals years, right? You can't mess with the ecosystem of the water without it having long term effects. When they say weeks, you can just add it to years or months. There it is, months or longer. Now, remember, you guys, when I read this stuff, I'm reading it new, right with you. We're reading it together, okay? For months or longer, and pose a danger to human health in the short term. Images and videos from space captured the extent of the runoff. Now, once this is published and you guys are able to look at the liner notes of this story, you'll be able to click it and see this. And they're not in there right now. Now, since Ian's landfall a week ago, Tomasco sounds like Tabasco, said that he received a dozen emails about overflows from wastewater treatment plants along the western coast of Florida, from Palmetto to Fort Myers. As of Tuesday, Orlando asked city residents to limit how often they flush their toilets, take showers, wash dishes, and do laundry because of the overflowing sewers. Satellites show an increase in runoff of some of these materials, soils, and overflowing rivers on land into the ocean, as shown in the images comparing October the 1st to 6 days earlier before Ian hit. Major discoloration in nearshore waters indicate a change in the clarity of the water or turbidity. The brown water seen in the images contains a substance called tannis, which is dissolved organic matter that floats near the top of the water, making it look like tea or coffee. Some of the water's turquoise color is likely due to organic matter and sediment churned into the surface by the hurricane. Here's another quote. "The fact that you can see it from a satellite is pretty impressive to the magnitude of fresh water that's coming off the landscape," said Todd Osborne, who is a biogeochemist at the University of Florida. Well, he continues with, "That's all the excessive rain flushing that material out into the near shore waters. And the storm surge inundating the landscape, turning up lots of sediment and then flowing back into the ocean." He said the amount of runoff caused by Ian is just so much bigger than things we've seen in the past. When you get this story and you hit this hyperlink, it's going to take you to this. Hurricane Ian may leave behind a trail of environmental hazards, which we know it will. Osborne said the emptying of freshwater streams into the ocean is a natural process and isn't necessarily a harmful occurrence at small scale. The organic materials can, in fact, serve as food for microbial populations, which are consumed by other animals higher in the food web. Thought it was a chain, but okay, it's a web. I'm sure it's always been a web, it's just new to me. But hurricanes can put such systems into overdrive. Too much floating organic matter can block sunlight from reaching plants deeper in the ocean, decreasing their ability to make food through photosynthesis and eventually leading to the death of plant life. Microbes breaking down the organic matter also increase activity, consuming great quantities of oxygen that would otherwise be available for others. Such oxygen deprived waters make it difficult for plants and fish to survive. Excuse me. The researchers are particularly concerned for the region's seagrasses, which require a lot of light and help maintain the local ecosystem. They help prevent erosion, maintain water clarity by trapping sediments and particles with their leaves, and provide food for animals and economically import fish. Poor water quality could wipe out parts of the local seagrass population. Well, as another quote, time will tell how it shakes out, but depending on ocean currents and things, that's a big concern from an environmental standpoint, said Osborne. The longer it takes for the water to settle out will define the impact it has on our nearshore grass habitats. The storm may have also washed in pesticides, which are my concerns. These things are here because these affect humans directly, even though I know we should definitely be concerned about the ocean and the animals that live there, if you want to say animals, but the fish in the sea and all that stuff. This is the part that concerns me. So it goes on to say that the storm may have also washed in pesticides and herbicides from farms and yards, as well as wastewater products into bodies of water, posing a risk to people's health if they're exposed. Well, we know it's going to happen. Here's another quote. He says, unless you absolutely have to be in the water, it's not a good time to be in there. Such human induced pollutants and nutrients come off the land can also spur harmful algal blooms that are dangerous for animals and people, said the marine environmental scientist Hans Perl. They're bringing out all the professionals. Harmful algal blooms, also known as red tides, are especially prevalent off the west coast of Florida and can affect key fisheries important for the state's economy. The story's not over when the storm leaves. In fact, it's sort of just the beginning from an environmental perspective, said Pearl, professor of the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. With all that runoff, we're getting a lot of nutrients that are coming off the land, particularly nitrogen, and phosphorus, which can increase harmful algal blooms. Pearl said, as climate change, here it goes, it never fails. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? Well, Pearl said, as climate change is increasing the amount of rainfall from a hurricane, he has observed major alterations in water quality and fisheries habitat in his study area in North Carolina as well. How climate change is rapidly fueling super hurricanes. That's this right here. That's why I sort of zipped through it. It's really, really stuck in my craw. I don't know why. It just grates my nerves. Anyway, researchers are unsure how long the water quality issues will last. Flooding has continued across parts of central Florida, raising river levels, creating more destruction and complicating cleanup efforts. Property loss is already estimated to be at more than $60 billion in Florida, according to an industry trade group. Tomasco said the impacts Ian had on the water quality are some of the worst in the state's recent history, topping 2004's Hurricane Charlie, the last Category 4 to make landfall on the western coastline of Florida. After Charlie rode through almost in the same location as Ian, it took weeks for improvements in impacted areas like the Charlotte Harbor, just north of Fort Myer. Now, the nearby Peace River was under poor conditions for 2 to 3 months, which meant it went on further because, I'll just tell you about this part later. Here's another quote. It is the worst hurricane impact to a lot of our state, worse than Charlie. That's saying a lot because Charlie was pretty bad for a long time, Tomasco said of Ian. Now, I feel that when we see these types of stories, they say a lot of words. But the real deal that I want to focus on is they warned you that the runoff was going to have some terrible or could have pretty bad issues for humans, posing a risk to humans' health if they are exposed. It's like those little bitty blurbs. Have you ever caught your wife cheating, guys? And you know it because, well, you've been watching how she works for a while. You catch her, you got it all documented. She gives you a long laundry list, and there's just one piece that's important. This one right here. It will pose a risk to people's health, and they will be exposed in one way or another. Either way, the whole thing stinks, pardon the pun, but the whole thing is a mess. Think about what happened with Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina had a lot of stagnant water in a lot of places for a pretty good amount of time. And I would venture to say that no matter how long the gasoline and the motor oil and all of the sewage, raw sewage, human sewage is in the water, anything over 5 days, anything over 6 or 7 days that just sits, which puts this and Katrina pretty much even if you consider how long the water's been tore up, you already know it's going to have an issue. If you guys remember, there's a story that we did a while back, and I don't know how many people are literally going to be displaced until this whole thing is over. But in the story, we were doing something, we were talking about NVIDIA, and NVIDIA had made an investment there in Florida with the university, and they have the largest quantum computer that's ever been put to that date of the story inside of a university. In that story, they mentioned that Florida was going to be America's food basket. And I said then, how do they know? How do they know? Don't you have to have cleared land to be able to feed America? It didn't say one of, it said America's food basket. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering. Well, we got a couple of other stories here. One of the stories that I thought was quite curious, but not curious enough for me to make it an entire story. And here's why. Because I question the validity of the story. And how do I question it? Well, why? I'll tell you. The reason why I question the validity is because I did not find it on enough of their major talking point channels. You know, the ones that go wah, wah, wah for them. I didn't find it on enough of those. What I did find it on was a lot of what I would consider alternative places and maybe one or two viable locations. So, with that said, I'm going to read it to you. And I'm also going to show you what I saw when I started to look up the story to find out more information about it. How I found it was I saw this little link that hit me shortly after we published the last story that was dealing with the North Korea issue with the flurry of missiles. Well, you guys may have already heard this because you are very astute and you guys are on top of a lot of stuff, which is the reason why I often solicit your help with regards to sending me any stories. Gypsy Mom 7, hey, Princess. And David Bentley, brother, how are you? Starfire Horizon and Cheryl, Kentucky Girl, hugs on your neck. That's who I can see. Yep, that's who I can see here. Oh, Max Vision remote viewing class. Hi. Hey, Kevin, MD 1974. How are you? If I've missed anyone, I apologize. Count it to my head and not my heart. I'm going to go on ahead and read this next one because to me, when I saw this, I thought, gee whiz, what have we stumbled upon? You guys may have already seen it. Hey, Stacy. So here we go. Here's another one that I thought was quite unique. And I got a bunch of them, folks, because I want to show you what I thought about it. I'm going to start here and I'm going to just keep clicking and showing you guys. So I'm going to come back to this screen, come back in, change the one I want to show you because that's the way this platform that I'm using works. Okay. So thank you for your patience in advance. All right. So this one says Seoul's reprisal launch blows up as the US and South Korea respond to a North Korean missile test. So that's one story. Now, this one was on NBC, right? Okay. So now with this one being here on NBC, I looked at that one and then I went and found another one. And when I found another one, okay, the rest of them were places like this. Let's see here. Here we go. I'm going to show you another one and then we're going to finally settle, but I got to let you see how curious this is, and I'm asking for your opinion. That's why I'm sharing it with you because I want to know what you think. Am I just tripping? Or is this something? Is this a nothing burger? To quote an old crone. Or is this a something burger? So, South Korea missile test malfunction sparking fire at the base. Now, this is from a company called Democracy Now! It's independent global news. Independent global news, right? All right, that's that. That's that one. Because remember, I just stuck it in a search engine and then I attempted to find the stories because I hadn't heard it. All right. So let's go to the next one. I want you guys to help me. I need you. Please don't leave me now. I need your help. I want you guys to tell me what you think. Let's see. Here's another one. Now, this one is right here. And I never heard of these companies, but it doesn't mean that because I've never heard of them that they don't have any validity. It's called Right Journalism. Have you guys heard of this company? So now they had the story. All right. Just in, North Korea accidentally hits its own city during a missile test. Now look, the date. This is January 2018. Do you see that? And some of the other dates were back as far. Some dates showed just recently, but this one came up in an immediate search. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying it looks like somebody is trying to play with some of the truth. There's 2 or 3 stories that show today's date, and then there's a bunch of them that pop up. When you put in today's date for your search, that's one of them. Okay? Please don't do that. Okay, so let me show you this. Let me show you another one. Let me show you the next one. All right, here we go. Is this one right here? Oh, yeah. Now look, when I put that in, then I get all of these pictures. I get all of these photos. Do you see that? Some of them have stories with them. Some of them don't. So I call foul on this story. Now, tomorrow morning, we may all wake up and we may all see, all right? Hey, Avis, it's good to see you and Steppenwolf as well. You guys, that's why I need your help because a lot of times when I see these things, I get the side eye going and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to bite. So let me just give you the gist. The gist of the story is they did something, it went, and it was almost like a quote unquote friendly fire type of deal, right? That they hit it out there. And then after they hit it out there, it backfired. Your man, my plan. Your plan backfired in your face. That old kind of song. That's what it reminds me of. Okay. So we're going to just refrain. We're going to refrain. I even plugged in their obvious, and that was CNN. But there was no bitey, nothing bit. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Yeah, because I feel like somebody is trying to plan this to do this. This is what I think. But it's just me. It's just me. That's what I feel. Now, I do want to get into some stuff that does affect us right quick before we pull out of here. And let's go ahead and get into that because it's nothing dealing with any of these people, nothing dealing with the love affair between the North and Miss Cameltoe. Nothing dealing with that. But it is dealing with things that they claim we may have to look out for. Wieners, possible listeria contamination. Cheese, recalled for potential contamination with listeria. Okay. Hair clips that are being recalled. Candy. You name it. If you like it, there's a recall for it, baby. Let's get right into the story dealing specifically with the wieners. Make sure that you can still see this because I don't think you can. Once I click it, you can't. All right, so here's the wieners. You want to know about wieners? Well, they got wiener stories for you. The wieners recalled possible listeria contamination. Here's a nice parentheses. Our product safety information is produced by our editors. Some of the content sourced for the information provided by the respective company directly in the government regulatory agencies. If this is a recall, we encourage you to contact the company directly for the complete information. They never used to put that there. No, they didn't. They just used to get right into the story. So, the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food and Safety Inspection Service is issuing a public health alert because Family Care and Chippewa Falls establishment produced ready to eat chili cheese wieners that may be contaminated with Listeria monocytogenes. A recall was not requested because it's believed that the product is no longer in commerce. It just might be in your freezer or in the bottom of your belly, and you're wondering why you had a stomachache. Nonetheless, let's continue. The ready to eat chili cheese wieners were produced on September 21st, 2022. The following products are subject to the public health alert. It's a 15-ounce vacuum packed package containing our local smokehouse chili cheese flavored wieners with a use by date of January 19th, 2023. The products bear establishment number right there on the screen, 695 SEWI, inside the USDA mark of inspection. These items were shipped to a family fair retail location in Cannon Falls, Minnesota. So if you've been there, double check it, where 3 packages of the wieners were sold. The problem was discovered when the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture reported to FSIS that some product was found to be contaminated with the Listeria monocytogenes during a routine test. So, during routine testing, there have been no confirmed reports of an adverse reaction due to the consumption of these products, and there never is. We never see it, unless, of course, it's in some salad and somebody ate it. Do they even still have Sizzlers? Well, if you guzzled some down at a Sizzlers or someplace like that, some other smorgasbord, you're going to find that they're going to put it up here. But in this case, there have been no confirmed reports of adverse reactions due to the consumption of these products. And anyone that's concerned about the illness should contact a healthcare provider. And hopefully, they'll get it right. They won't give it another name and tell you got something else. Well, because they're professionals and there's nothing to see here. Consumption of food contaminated with the listeria can cause listeriosis, a serious infection that primarily affects. Hold on, I'm distracted. Yes, can you just go away? I'll take care of it in a minute. Whatever it is, I love you. See you in a minute. Okay? I'll be glad when people move. Anyway, loving you dearly. Nothing personal. Beat it, kid. A serious infection that primarily affects older adults, persons with weakened immune systems, and pregnant women and their newborns. We already know the story, folks. You can get the headaches, body aches, stiff neck, confusion, loss of balance, and convulsions. Sometimes it's preceded by diarrhea or other gastrointestinal symptoms. So we're going to read through this so that the next time we see this tonight, we won't have to say it again. Now, look here. In women that are pregnant, the infection can cause a miscarriage or stillbirth. This sounds a lot like something else. Oh, you don't feel good? You had a hot dog lately? Well, yeah, we were at the park. Well, did it have chili cheese in it? No, it didn't. Well, I can tell you what it is. But I just said it wasn't with chili cheese. It's okay. I know what it is. It's listeria. That's the problem. Well, I didn't start feeling like this until I got poked. Well, it's okay. It's still listeria. But you just said it was the chili cheese. I didn't eat those. But it's okay. Trust me, I'm a professional. I'm telling you what you have, lady. Now scram. There's a 1-800 number here. In all seriousness, there's an 888-674-6854 number. Again, 888-674-6854. You can call the food safety hotline. There is a USDA meat and poultry hotline. They got a lot of hotlines now that are all set up to help you just in case. All set up to help you just in case. You don't have to worry about anything. They're here for you. They're here for you. It's the cheddar. It's not what happened in your arm, lady. All of these symptoms sound a bit unique, but they don't at the same time. So that's one of them. There's another story that they have that shows that there's another issue. As we go back, I think I'm going to have to click it for you, and then we're going to have to come back all over again. There is a cheese recalled. Cheese. 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 Here we go. There's a company called Old Europe Cheese Incorporated. They issued a voluntary recall of its brie, my favorite to have with a glass of wine. How dare they? And Camembert cheese due to the possible health risk. Let's get into this one. The Old Europe Cheese Incorporated of Benton Harbor, Michigan, is issuing a voluntary recall of its brie and Camembert cheeses because of the potential for contamination with listeria, an organism which can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections. We already know that part. Let's get into the details of the recall. All Old Europe cheese, brie and camembert cheese products with the best buy dates through 12/14/22 are subject to voluntary recall. The products were distributed from August 1st, 2022 through September 28th, 2022 and were available at supermarkets, wholesale and retail stores nationwide and Mexico. Retailers include, please pay very close attention just in case you have come in contact with this. Let me make this bigger for you. Okay, all jokes aside, let's get into where you would have come in contact with this product. There you go. Albertsons, Safeway, Meher, Harding's, Shaw's, Price Chopper, Market Basket. Looks like Rayleigh's. I'm not familiar with that. Save Mart, so pardon me for mispronouncing it, but it looks like Rayleigh's. Giant Foods, Stop and Shop, Fresh Time. Is it Eld? L-I or Lidl? Sprouts? Now that's a good place. I shop at Sprouts. Athenian Foods, Whole Foods, shop there too. This list may not include all the retail establishments that have received the recall product or may include retail establishments that did not actually receive the recall product. So you just go for what you know. Go for what you know, because we don't know where it went. It might have gone to some of these. Oh, you got sick from someplace else? Well, it could have went there too. We don't know. But we're just giving you the warning. Check it out. It says the following products being recalled are marked by the best buy dates ranging from the September 28, 2022 to December 14th, 2022 dates. Retailers may have repackaged the bulk Europe cheese items into smaller containers and sold this repackaged product to consumers. This right here is an Easter egg hunt. This right here is a needle in a haystack. This repackaged product may not bear the original labeling and product information as described below. So, in other words, take your chances, boo boo, because it may or may not have these dates and it may or may not have these names. Block Bear 6-pound, Black Bear Wheel, not applicable. Block Barrel 2.2 pound, Block and Barrel Brie. Block and Barrel. Now, the first one was Black Bear. The second one and the third one are Block and Barrel. 6.6 Block and Barrel Brie. Charmant 2.2. I'm not reading all this because I feel that they need to be a little more descriptive. This will be down below in the description box. But nonetheless, I'm going to just give you the names, not all the specifics. Glenview Farms, Good and Gather, Haydn, Joan of Arc, Le Bon V. Okay, another LIDL. Somebody tell me how to say that. Type that, you guys. Somebody get your girl. Get me right. Life in Province, Market. Okay, Metairie D, Metropolitan, Prestige, Primo Taglio, Primo Taglio, Red Apple, Rennie Pico. Lots of places, lots of stuff, lots of types. But again, it is a needle in a haystack, which should be illegal. If you, in the beauty industry, break something down. And I know because I've owned 3 shops and I worked in the beauty industry for close to 25 years. If you take a product out of an initial container, you have to duplicate the label that they sent it from the manufacturer, even if it is a sample. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're getting a sample from a store that is a skincare product, any kind of makeup, they must, by law, duplicate that label and put it on that package, even if it's a teeny tiny sticker, and they do their due diligence and sticking it on the bottom. This right here is just what we already know, sabotage at its best. For them to say, we don't know, it could have, it may not have the labels, it might not have the label, it don't got the label, it's got something else. That's a mess. Anyway, here's a number: 269-925-5003, and extension 335 will get them hot. Heat them up if you got to, and tell them you need some explanation if you have taken any of these products in. The dates, the times that you can call them is Monday through Friday, 9 to 12:30. Looks like they take a lunch break and come back at 2. Then you can get them from 2 to 4. Okay? Now, this action was triggered after a full environmental audit of 120 samples, both of the product and the company's facilities. None of the products showed contamination, but one of the facility samples tested positive. The strain from that positive case has been linked to 6 cases of listeriosis dating from 2017 to 2022. These cases were not previously linked to this company's product. But Old Europe Cheese decided to do this voluntary recall in order to avoid any risk to their customers and obviously their reputation. But that's not in the story, so I digressed. The company has decided to voluntarily initiate the product recall based on these results and with a focus on the consumer's health. The source of potential contamination has been identified, and Old Europe Cheese is taking active measures to eliminate it. Production of these products has been stopped and will not restart until the company has full confidence in the effectivity of applied measures. The company is working closely with state and federal authorities and it's with its clients to make this voluntary recall as fast and efficient as possible. The quality and safety of our products is our number one priority, and we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience caused by this situation. You guys, I think we know enough to know that a lot of this stuff is so planned. I think we're all just done. I honestly do. I think a lot of us are just done. I really do. Aren't you done? Let me know. Are you done? Type it out. Yeah. Yeah. We're all done. Oh snap, Mars Fool's Gold says. Oh snap, Primo Yaglio, always on sale. Will pay more not to get it. To not get. You're going to pay more to not get the food. Gotcha. I don't blame you. You're done. I am done. I'm done. And that's the reason why it's like, yeah, done and tapping out. M. Leslie said, 10 TV said done. Starfire done. Cheryl says, I am done. I'm done. Deer Hunter. Stephen Wolf says, Deer Hunter. It's terrible, you guys. And these are the things that they're talking about. I want you guys, I'm going to put these links down below inside of the production notes. And you should be able to see them after maybe 4 or 5 minutes after maybe a little more, maybe 10 minutes after we're done. Pardon the pun. Cheryl's, I am done. Look at him, Leslie. Okay, finito, complete. We're done. Okay. 2 bed poopy pants. Okay, I know, Cheryl. Okay. Antoinette says these characters do not want us to have high protein, good fats, meat, and dairy. Yep, been done since 2020, Melvin Payne said. I'm with you on that one, Melvin. But we can get it through this. Trust. Come on, girl. Come on, 10 TV. Girl, guy, what you 10? What are you, girl or guy? I don't care what you are. I like what you just said. And I'm going to put it on the screen just for that. Here. You guys do me a favor. If you've not done so already, give the algorithm a quick, swift kick. Hit that like button for me. And if you don't like it, you can hit that too. It doesn't matter. Just interact with it. It likes to be stroked every now and again. Mars Fool's Gold said, "Yes, ma'am, we'll pay more for a better brand. Leave the cheese to the rats." Maureen Olson says, Never B says, "Nowadays you hear nothing but recalls and okay, and threats to our health." Exactly, which is the reason why I initially said, look at what we're hearing now. We're hearing people with lowered immune systems. Well, the more you get, the stuff you go outside in the air, and Starfire Horizon says no more cheap foods. Even if you spend it on something expensive, it's still going to have that chance, because I feel like all of them are paying their dues. So it's like, okay, well, it's our turn now to do it. Okay, we played it. We did get we're in this big group. And since we're in this group, you know, we want everybody to pay their dues because you joined the group. And now that you've joined the group, every other time something goes on, we're going to need you to play a part. So give us a list of something that you want us to throw up under the bus, and we're going to throw it under the bus. What happens if it's absolutely okay? They don't care as long as they get you up and running to go turn something in or just stop eating it. Okay? Yeah. They don't want you to eat the meat. Don't eat the meat. Going over here and eat the vegetables. But guess what? The vegetables got issues. Don't worry about the vegetables. Okay? Don't touch the vegetables. You need to eat some meat. So you run over and eat the meat. Then the meat's got issues. Everything's got problems. It's all got problems. Problems all around. But we do know that the blood covers it all. I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to get going. But you guys know if I get going, that's going to be it. I'm going to be laying hands and praying. But the deal is, this is what's happening now with all the recalls. Looking back at a couple more, hair clips violation of federal lead content ban. I wonder what company those came from, where they came from. Name of the product is Children's Bow Tie Hair Clips. Okay, where are they from? That's what I'm looking at. Without you guys, I'm looking over here. BE Jeweled Accessories hair clips. They're covered in a small and large white color crystals. The back of the hair clip is black. Okay, I want to see who made them. Where did they come from? Okay, it says that the importer is B Jewel Accessories of Roslyn, New York. Oh, well, here we go. Worth showing you this. It's worth showing you this. You see that? You see that? Bingo! Give the lady a prize. Ladies and gentlemen, let's watch it. Here it comes. Let me show it to you. Here you go. Right there. Manufactured in China. Okay? You see that? China. Even before he left, I have to tell you. Can I tell you who I miss? Can I tell you? I got mad at him, and I'm mad at him right now. And I know that I will not, I won't ever vote for him again, because I know if they don't get him real good, he's gonna be running again. But can I tell you who I miss? Because there's a lot of stuff while he was hanging out. Even though I know his hanging out was being a part of the party, but just indulge me for a moment, please. Let me have a second. I miss Mr. Naranga. Sometimes I miss that old orange dude. Sometimes I miss him. He's like a bad boyfriend. He treated me so bad, but he did me so good. Mr. Naranga. Sometimes, because I say, gee whiz, hey, when that cat was around, didn't nobody mess with us. I tell you that. They didn't mess with us. Now, don't shout me down, y'all. Don't shout me down. Please don't shout me down, because you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. If ignorance was meant for us to walk blissfully in it every day and we didn't know what we know now, we would be saying that. I really wish he were still here. Okay? Yes. You guys know what I mean. I don't want him, but I sure enough miss him. I miss the him that I voted for and the idea that I had when I voted for him. You know what I'm saying? You see what I mean? He had a level of respect that, whether it was orchestrated, planned, acted out, or whatever, for those amount of years, other than turning on the news and being pelted with the stories that we hated to hear, he was rocking it. He really was. Too bad he was a part of the problem. and a part of the plan. Well, folks, I think that'll do it for me this evening. I just wanted to come here and hang out with you and just find out what you guys knew and didn't know, or what you thought about some of these stories. What I think about the hair clip story is yikes. Yeah, yeah, that's what I think. Okay, that's what I think. I think that the hair clip story is yikes, specifically because, well, we see that it's from China, and that's a problem. That's a problem. And it's for children, right? It's for kids. Let me see before we leave. Is there anything pressing that I need to give you here? Let me make sure that you guys can see this too. But for whatever reason, this thing doesn't like to share it. Okay, let's see the wieners. We did the cheese. We did the hair clips. Candy. Well, we just had the whole Skittle scare. Skittle scare, scare, Skittle, Skittle scare. Aaron James, what's going on? How you doing, baby? Okay. Let's look at the candy scare, shall we? Now I'm gonna click this and it's automatically gonna make me come over here and change it out because, well, that's what they do to me. But I want to see that because I want to see what candy. Oh, please don't let it be a hard candy like the grandmama keeps at the bottom of her purse at every church service, for the love of Pete. Please don't let it be that. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Arcade snacks. What do they make? Out of curiosity. Run for your life. It's candy corn for all of you that are like me, that hate candy corn. It's candy corn. Run from the candy corn. Head for the hills. Hey, I hate that little stuff. Ick. And then after finding out that I hated it, they tried to shape it and make it look like something that I would like and painted them in the color of chocolate. I hate candy corn. Hey, Wake Up says, I draw the line in the sand over hair clips. Okay, so just a blanket statement, I guess it's just safe to say, don't be messing with that candy corn. And when look here, when you go through your kids' candy from the what they used to call it when I was going to Christian church, the Hallelujah night, which is really still All Hallows Eve night, take the candy corn and throw it in the garbage because you already know it's contaminated. You ain't got to think that it came from the guy down the street with the creepy car that totes around the neighborhood in the creepy van. It's not him. He didn't pass that candy corn out. It was the manufacturer that has a problem. And it's their openness that I appreciate. Candy corn was distributed in Massachusetts and Connecticut at the following locations: Johnson Roadside Farm Market in Swansea, Massachusetts; Donlands or Dunlands supermarkets in Massachusetts, all where the bewitching hour shall start. Right there, somewhere, I'm sure, near Salem. I went to Salem once. We'll talk about that at a later time. Well, I love Nathaniel Hawthorne. His house is there. They pulled up the original one and set it there where he was born in, and then the one he grew up in. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to it. So now, if you go to Fieldstone's Farm Market in Marion, Massachusetts, and Foodies in Massachusetts, Windfall Market in Falmouth, Massachusetts, Highland Park Market in Glastonbury, Connecticut. Okay? The product comes in a 15-ounce clear plastic container marked with the UPC listed here and the best by date of 3/8/23, just for the people who hold on as long as they can to that candy so that they can disguise it in those little Easter eggs for kids for Easter. Okay? Month of March is when it's going to expire from the store. But there's some people who sort of repurpose stuff when they don't get rid of, they cut the light on and their kid comes. So that's why I'm letting you know it. Run from the candy corn all the way to Easter if you do that Ishtar stuff. Well, it says no illnesses have been reported to date in connection with this problem, and the recall was initiated after it discovered that the egg-containing product was distributed in packaging that did not reveal the presence of eggs. Run. Even if they do have it, run. They're candy corn. Consumers who have purchased it are being asked to take it to the store to get a real full refund. Unless, of course, you went to one of those stores that ask you, do you want your receipt? And you said no. If that's the case, you're tailed out, buddy. What's with that? And what is with that? The new, do you want your receipt? Can I return it if I don't have it? No. Well, then give me my receipt. Do you want me to email it to you? Am I purchasing it through email? No. Then give me my receipt. Whew. All right, folks. I think I'm done. I think it's it. I think that's it. I think that's all we got. Hey, Charlie Sigler, who snuck in here on your sister. How you doing, brother? Thank you for that blessing you gave me. I didn't get a chance to see you since then, but I want to thank you so much for sending that to me via PayPal. You are very nice. Oh, and somebody who's not here sent me something in my P.O. box, the new P.O. box address. Thank you. I don't see you. When I see you, I'm going to thank you by name, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we're done, folks. I mean, we're out of here. We're done. There's nothing more, Alan. There's nothing more, Aaron. Antoinette, there's nothing more. There's nothing more. Until there's something more. And then, well, Yeah. Orange, you glad I didn't say by name? Starfire is a hot mess. You can always tell when I see a reply somebody put in there. I always know it's going to be her. Whenever I see somebody's statement and I can think how she thinks, and then I see there's a reply and I look down and it's her replying, as I knew it would be. Listen, you guys, I want you all to take care of yourselves and remember what we always say on any Felicia Lockhart Group publications, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. I want you to take care of yourselves, and then I also want you to turn around and take care of somebody else. And then until you and I see each other again, remember, take care of yourselves and continue to be blessed. Lockhart Perspective.